Hey guys. You ever just get hit with information like, I don't know, like it just comes to you and it's not necessarily good or bad. I don't know. It's just random. Random information that starts making you really think about shit. It has like a, I don't know, like a trickle down effect, like a domino effect. Like one thought leads to another and another and another. This is exactly what happened to me recently. It happens a lot, actually. But this one, I was like reminiscing like about my childhood self recently, right? I guess it's because a family member that I spent a good amount of time with, around like 7 to 9 years old, right? Offered to take me on another trip. I don't know. So it got me thinking about that time. And like, yeah, so my ass is headed back up to Massachusetts. Like this week. It fucking fell into my lap. And I thought, why the fuck not? Right? It's funny because I thought I was being guided somewhere else. And then that, like, all signs pointed to it to work, but it just didn't work. And I was just like, And then this fell into my lap. So it's kind of like, I don't know. Fun. Like, what? Whoa. I told you before, I'm just at a point where if I'm guided somewhere, I'm fucking going. And I did. I manifested travel. I don't know. Already third trip since January. You can't stop smiling. It's like my dimps, guys. But seriously, you can't see them, but they're there. I feel very grateful, honestly, for this time in my life. And the people, who are making it happen for or with me, I don't know. I never thought if I just fucking relaxed and let go, how it could all just be. And I will tell you though, there is so much less pressure and stress because I have been under some stress lately, wondering what way to go. And then this fell into my lap, like I said. I just kind of like it that way. Stress less and just go with it. No pressure. I'm just saying. They hear the fucking Beastie Boys. Let it go. Let yourself flow. Slow and low. That is the tempo. Oh, shit. Anyway, so back to those like trickling thoughts. And like I said, I'm thinking about me as a kid. And I remember around that age, like 7, being, I like to say, mildly fucking obsessed with stupid, like freaking Garfield. Not stupid, but like the original one, the 80s, 90s comic version. Not the movie bullshit. Sorry, Bill Murray. Even, you ever see Zombieland? Even in that movie, when they like kill him, when they kill Bill Murray for real by accident, and he says like his one regret was probably Garfield. See, he knows. Shouldn't have been a movie. Anyway, random. See, I know. But roll with me. When I was a fucking kid, my favorites were random. Like all over the place, right? I don't know. I feel like most of us are probably like this, but like I had, Rainbow Bright, but loved He-Man. I used to love that cartoon Inspector Gadget. I fucking love that Dr. Claw. I don't know. I just loved it when I was little. But, I also rode watching Thundercats. Yeah. I would play with My Little Ponies like it was nobody's fucking business. But then the next day, I'd be out knee deep in mud catching bullfrogs and climbing pine trees. I don't know. I feel like I just always been a mix of random Jen, I guess. And at some point along the way, I feel like I kind of lost that in a sense. So I started looking at, well, what made me lose that at that time? Like, when did it get lost in the shuffle? Because I just feel like just one day my Garfield obsession was gone and I didn't even realize it was gone. It just was, right? Does that make sense? Hopefully, because I don't make sense to myself sometimes. Until I do. No. I don't know. I just am who I am. And I'm sure you all have your own ways too. If you look back, that are random as fuck. But anyway, I used to draw all the time. It's just a way for me to zone out, get into my flow state, and just be, right? I like to create. But I got very good at that time in my life drawing Garfield and Odie. I used to use these comic books, right? They were like soft cover ones, but all the comics inside, it was just the outlines. They weren't colored in or anything, so it was really good. I don't know, it's just how I taught myself how to draw. And I used to get the books from that freaking flyer from school. No, I probably didn't actually, because you know what? I used to get the little book fair fucking flyer, and I used to get all fucking excited about it, and I'd start circling all the shit I wanted. And then I'd take it home and I'd show my dad, and he'd never buy me shit. No, I used to get those books from the public library. My grandmother used to take me. I know, it's fucking dated. Fucking Dewey Decimal over here. But, I don't know. Sometimes isn't it just good to remember how it was? Like, kind of helps bring us back to our senses today when we do it. I don't know. I think it was easier to fully enjoy what you had, to a sense, because you knew you had to, share it. Like, you had to bring the library book back in a week, so you actually used it in the time frame that you originally intended to use it. Now, I'm not gonna lie, my kids would get shit for Christmas, right? And then, come summertime when I decide to, spring clean, because I'm late. And, donate shit, whatever. I find things in the package not even open from Christmas. You know what I mean? You just get so caught up in the motion of buying the gifts and doing the shit that sometimes you overdo it. And you gotta stop and step back and look at how you used to live life, right? Kind of takes you back a little bit, grounds you. So yeah, I was thinking about my kid self and reconnecting with those times. And I got to thinking about how well we know ourselves, or think we do, right? So, looking back now, I know it's because of Garfield, right? I used to love eating lasagna. It was like my favorite thing when I was a kid at that time, right? I've got two cardinals fighting each other. They're both boys. They're having a fucking cardinal pissing contest right now. That's what they're doing. Cardinals is not like your ancestors. That makes sense. Yeah. Oh, shit. Oh, what the fuck was I saying? Oh, yeah, I was talking about lasagna. You love the shit. And now I look back and I'm like, did I love it because, yes, it's good, I still like it. But or because it was such a theme in Garfield, which I, for some reason, latched onto. Right? So, yes, thinking about Garfield, I start thinking about lasagna. These are my trickle thoughts. What? It's just what comes up. I don't fucking know why. Don't judge. Besides, like I said, it's fucking yummy. It's yummy food. Yeah. You hear the wind? Oof. You ever notice that food in general, if it comes in layers, it's usually fucking delicious? I don't know. I guess it's like the act of remembering for us humans is going through the layers of us as we know them. And me doing that brought me to the final fucking thought of lasagna. Fuck, what do you want from me? Anyway, now, I'm sure your stomach's growling because mine is. Thanks, spirit guides. Fuck. No, what I did, I started to focus on the layers message that was coming to me. I'm like, I'm not really going to go make a lasagna. Like, I'm not that hungry. So, look around the deeper meaning, the metaphorical meaning or whatever around it, right? And honestly, this is just kind of a glimpse into how I've come to relate my higher sense with my physical sense and connect the dots between the two, right? So that they can remerge, I guess? I don't know. It makes them feel more relatable to me, what I'm trying to learn, I guess. And that's how I try to reshare the downloads that I get with you guys. So hopefully it's coming across at least a little. I don't know. I feel like I've come to know that it seems totally unrelated at first. But when those pop up, it's like the higher self is actually showing me a great truth through these things that seem so unrelated. Like, it takes like, they just end up clicking all together, and when you look back, you see it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Maybe I was doing that for you too. I don't know. Wouldn't it be nice, right? If we could just allow that for ourselves sometimes. Follow it. I guess that's what I'm trying to do. So live vicariously through me. I'll allow it. Shit. Maybe it should be all the time we do it. I don't know. It's always like, why does it feel like gonna be one or the other? I feel like it's both at the same time. It's just whatever you choose, right? Obviously whatever you choose, but fuck, listen. Like, look at it like the sun, okay? The sun heats the whole fucking solar system, right? It's so fucking strong. It has so much power. It can literally burn life. It can destroy it. But at the same time, life cannot exist without it, and life grows because of it, right? So there's like layers of understanding all around us that seem to contradict each other, but yet is how life works. Yeah? Like the balance. So that's what we're going to get into today. You know, the yummiest foods and our yummiest self also comes with layers. When we start to allow ourselves to understand our own layers, we can use them to expand in life, I guess. So there's a recipe for lasagna, right? It usually has a sauce, a pasta, a cheese, a meat, you know, blah, 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 blah. And you fill the pan, repeating these layers, yeah, until you have a whole pan of lasagna. But if you stopped at one layer, would it even be lasagna? It wouldn't, right? Even though that one ingredient is super important for the end result, alone it just cannot complete the desired outcome, which is fucking lasagna. And at the same time, lasagna wouldn't be without the one ingredient. Same goes for us and ourselves and the layers we are all made of. And I'm not talking like the physical sense, not talking about the bones, the muscles, the organs, the nerves, the skin. But even with this lineup, right, you can clearly see how the physical self also has layers too. To me, I don't know, shit. I feel like it's just another fucking check in the box of how the higher and lower self are so connected. And then how we are all connected, because not only are our physical layers the same, but we'll soon see how the higher self, that connection of consciousness that we share, is also very much the same. So, for yourself right now, first and foremost, before we get into all the layers, I want blank slates listening to me right now. Just let go. Let it all go. There's a sense, okay, to how we view ourselves as humans. And at least for shits and giggles alone, okay? For this episode, try to let that go. Completely let it go. Don't try, do it. You are letting it go. Let go of who you think you are. Please. For me. No, not really. It's actually all for fucking you. But whatever. Just fucking let go. Just trust me. Zone out. You ever watch one of them ASMR things? I feel like they get a little bit out of control. Alright, this is an explicit podcast for a reason, so don't get offended. But I feel like if you whisper anything in the right way, it sounds like a damn invitation. Just putting that out there. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I'll be watching one and I'm like, why do I feel dirty? I don't know. But there are a few I like. It's a way to calm you, yeah? Like if you're trying to zone out, which is what I want you to do. So, okay. Now we're going to just let go. Let go. Be free. Good. Oh, shit. It's like a trance. But, okay. All kidding around aside. Try to let go of the self that you think you are. Nobody will even know. They like click something, right? Okay, for real. Here's why. Who you think you are is very much depending on who other people have told you that you are. And told you, yes, as indirectly telling you, yeah, okay, probably yes, occasionally, yes, but also in how they respond to you, how they react to things that you say or do, and that sort of thing. And how you take their reaction. So, you are not that, okay? You're not now, or have you ever been, who anyone else has told you you are. Blank slate. Because honestly, you are only ever right now. Your only true existence is in the present. And in order to honor what you are, presently, you're gonna have to stop passing the blame onto others, onto past people or events. That's why we become dependent on what others think of us. Because if we embody that image, when shit goes down that we don't like, we can point the blame somewhere else or onto someone else. But that's proven to never get anyone anywhere. Except maybe stuck in the hamster wheel of their own making. Look, through all your life, there will be people who never see the real you. Never. They will never see what you want them to see. They will see what they want to see. So you gotta ask yourself why you're choosing to see what they see instead of what you want to see. It's time to realize that their thoughts have nothing to do with you, their perception. So why feel dependent on these people and what they want you to be or do? I can't tell you what to do. I can tell you different ways to think about what to do. I would say, stop putting energy into trying to change their point of view and just focus on working on elevating your own. I was meditating the other day and this came to me and I thought it was meant specifically for me, but maybe it's not. Maybe it wasn't meant. because I think that it might have a takeaway for some of you guys too. The message I got, it was, I am a puppet of my own making. It's like any invisible strings that connect me to that view that I put on myself of something having control over me in any way, it's all because I allow them to. And I'm choosing when to allow them to stay too. Because it's only when I choose to like cut those strings, which by the way, you and me can both do it anytime we want. It's only when I choose that version of me that I will truly benefit from the freedom I seek. I am both the puppet and the puppet master of my own life. I don't know. I guess it was like, all of a sudden I saw it from the point of view of my soul. Like the piece of source that I am. Like seeing that source experiences the reality through me. I heard like, I create your reality through you. And then that means how I choose to live at each moment. I'm the puppet and the puppet master. I don't know. It blew my mind with what I was trying to get out of it. I'm just saying. I guess I had to see my strings to realize where they were actually connecting to. Yeah? It's a game-changing view. I do know that much. Get out of your head. Raise the vibration. And just allow your spirit to guide you. I guess those layers apply there too as well in a way. Conscious layers, right? That we acknowledge as we ascend into greater understanding of what we are meant to do in our fucking lives. So yeah, take from it what you will today. Seriously, guys, let's look at it this way. If we decide to participate along our own story, then we open ourselves up to whatever is asked of us. Full participation, right? You want to go up to Massachusetts again? Sure, why the fuck not? Full participation. We choose each day to come alive as much as we possibly can with whatever is happening in that day. And we can only begin to do this if we release those stories from the past. We begin to see the reason for those doors that had to close. And now we can move along, but this time we pay more fucking attention to the doors that are opening. Yeah? So, we ready? Good. Let's get into the self. Blank slate. The self and all the gooey layers of the self. It's not a long recipe, you guys. Nope. Not gonna take that long. No, a human has about 5 layers to them, okay? Maybe at the end of the day, we really are just simple creatures. Even if sometimes we like to fucking think otherwise, huh? Hey, it's called acceptance. So layer 1 is the label. The packaging. The name of your dish, yeah? This is the name of you. This is what you do for a living. This is how you portray your physical self. It's all a bunch of fucking nothing, really. I'm sorry. I know that sounds harsh. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm not. It's just this part, even for me, doesn't matter as much once we get moving. How can I explain it? Like, for example, my kid, right? He was way into Fortnite when it first came out. And he used to beg me for, like, extra cash. Or do extra chores or whatever so he could spend money on, I think they're called skins. I think they call them skins in that game. I asked him, I was like, well, what's the point of the skins if they cost money? Do different outfits come with different skills? Are you able to get further game-wise with them, like bonus levels or, power-ups and shit like that? I like being a mom who knows gaming a little bit. It was really funny when they were younger and they were just starting out and they're like, didn't expect all the questions. Didn't have the answers ready for them. Shit, she's not supposed to know all that. No. The skins didn't do any of that. They just looked cool. It's fucking virtual dress up. That's all it was. That's all it was. And the genius marketing, over at Fortnite or whatever, you gotta give them credit. They made them limited availability so that the kids get tricked into believing they must have them. The skin is just a front. It's a cover for the character you really are so that you feel like you look cooler. Huh? It's exactly what the label layer is for the self. Yeah, that's a little moped or some shit. The second layer, I think the neighbor kid has a go-kart. I think that's what it is. I'm sorry, squirrel. The second layer is the feely feels layer. This is the energy that you hold on to whenever you emotionally evolve in fucking anything, really. These feels, though, I think they're actually more of how your ego found the situation, because it's all around the physical, worldly feeling. Like you put part of yourself out there in somehow or some way, and you form an opinion about you around the response that came from other people about the you that you showed. Rewind that if you have to, but it makes fucking sense. Remember, the you think you are is depending on what others told you are. But not right now, because we let it go. This is the layer that absorbs that codependent energy like a sponge. Here is where we're trying to recognize how we view ourselves when we are in the cause and effect situations about us with other people. And we either learn for improvement, dwell in misery, or we just enjoy the good feels. Layer 3, I like to call it, what's the big idea? Hey, what's the big idea? It's the lasagna talking. This is where the recipe begins to resemble the desired form of the outcome. Like, think about it like when the cake mix forms into the pan, into the shape of the pan, even before you cook it. This is where the ideas and concepts of who or what we experience settle into forming our personal preferences. The level of assigning more labels. But instead of the self-labeling or judging, it's doing it to the outside of the self. It's where we would decide what we think is good or bad, right or wrong. It's like playing Marry, Fuck, or Kill. Remember that game? It's all our preferences, all our choices in life. Yeah? Layer 4 is kind of about taking the preferences from the previous level when it comes to our wants, our desires, and how we decide to take action on them. You kind of see in how they ripple into each other a bit. Like, each one has an effect on another, so it's important to work them out for the betterment of you. And yes, I know how I sound when I say that word. Betterment. That's how it comes out. I just, fuck it. Betterment of you and your circumstances each time. Yeah, I got it out, see? It's the layer of living your dreams and what you're willing to do to get them. And then we come to number 5. 5 to me is, I don't know. It's like when you can realize the ripple out effect while at the same time seeing the single layer. Me. So you guys love my sound effects. It's like separating the top 4 layers, I guess is a way to put it. It's the layer that knows it's a layer. The layer of being self-aware. It's when you realize that, yes, these are the ripple effects, but you are the stone that caused the initial ripple. It all stems from you. The puppet and the puppet master. Yeah? And then that brings us to 6. Oh, shit! Of course, we have a bonus layer. Some extra cheese on this bitch. 6 is moving beyond the self in the way we think of all that is. Hold on. I've heard it described like this, and it's fairly easy, so we'll do it. Alright, you're going to hold your hand out in front of you in a tight fist, clenched fist, okay? Keep it tight, clenched until I tell you. Okay, you gotta listen. All your focus on the tight, clenched fist. You guys see what I mean? Alright. This is how we are before we get to layer 6. It all is based on the question, who am I? In layers 1 through 5, we're actively trying to answer this, yeah? And all our focus is on who the human is. It's closed fist. It's limited. It's limited because it's been based off mind-based logics and preconceptions. Okay? Now, open your fist. And feel the ease and pressure and how much better it is. Because with it unclenched, your options for how to use the hand are now endless, limitless. And it's just from you releasing the tension, okay? I mean, you could write, you could clap, you could shake hands with another person. So many things with it being open and allowing to any possibilities. The lesson here is learning to view the hand as you and how limited we can become in our patterns, our views, however it speaks to your life at any given fucking time, right? I heard once that it's pretty fucking cool. I heard once that at any given time, okay, there's always 2 versions of everything in this world. The ones you experience are the ones that you chose to manifest, your choices. And somewhere out there, energy of your unmanifested version exists at the same time. So, it's like if I decide to draw Garfield, right? Homage to my 7-year-old self. Before I do anything on that blank sheet of paper, the manifested version of Garfield's image is already there as well as it being blank at the same time. It's just seeing which version you decide to let come to life. You can decide not to draw anything at all and leave it in its unmanifested state. It's like, so if you took a job across the country, right? Out there in another space, there's a version where you didn't take that job happening right now. It's kind of insanely interesting for me to think about. My brain goes ding, 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 like trickle. It's the same idea. Okay, so let's say you have a cup in front of a blank wall, and you point a red light at one angle at the cup, and you take a green light and you point it at the other opposite angle. towards the cup. So they're both hitting the cup with their light. And what happens is one blocks the same color and shadows the opposite color. So where the red light shines, the shadow is green. It's because the object keeps back the color red from the red light pointing at it. It absorbs it, right? And then that projects only the complementary color, green, as the shadow on the wall. And the opposite goes for the green light. Make sense? My episode Grasshopper touched on this, the color theory and all this shit a little bit. If you're interested in it, it's called Grasshopper. It's a little bit back. But I think it was Alan Watts. He said, basically, a mountain can't be a mountain if its opposite, a valley, is not also there. And the valley can't exist without its mountain. In a person, we try to seek our complement half, outside of us, like our perfect match. And if we do this, we won't ever find it. Ever. No reunion with it. Because the other half can only be the opposite. It can't be a manifested version of you if that's what you are. Because you cannot occupy the same space at the same time. It has to be the unmanifested version of you. And those are in your unconscious state. You gotta go within. I know, it's a lot. I know. But whether you're fully ready to grasp it or not, it's up to you. It's at least, start learning different views, right? That's all we can do, is push ourselves to learn different views that interest us so we can see what connects the dots for us in each of our own cases. The only way I can say it is to look at the world as everything is still there, even if you're only experiencing one small part of it. Your aim is to reunite the two halves. The red and the green, or the mountain and the valley of your consciousness. And the only way to find the truth is through you. I know. It's easier if we just fucking have someone to tell us, but fuck, that's not how it works. The more we try to make it work like that, the less it fucking does, and the less it makes sense. Just go with the flow. I like to look at it like the lasagna, okay? Because each slice still has bits of all the layers in it, right? Like the lasagna in its whole form in the pan is a whole pan of lasagna with all its layers. But each slice you cut is a smaller piece of all those layers. I feel like that's how you're supposed to go, like a slice at a time. And experience how all the layers work within that slice. Until you get to the bonus layer, I guess. I'm saying, don't feel bad, because you're not supposed to eat the whole lasagna pan all at once. You're not fucking Garfield. Figure it out a slice at a time. Savor the slice. Savor the slice. The slice of life. I could never do it. I could never do it without laughing. I can't. I'm sorry. ASMR isn't bad, you guys. I know I'm picking on it a little bit. But it's just, there's those out there truly intend to help doing it, and then there's those that are just trying to capitalize on the popularity of it, yeah? And you can tell clearly which is which. You can. You fucking can. Besides, if we can't laugh at some things in our own culture, then what the fuck else are we supposed to do about it, huh? So, don't be mad. If you're being real, I respect you. I think everybody should treat each other that way. I love it when anyone tries and chooses to be on their own path in their own way, whatever that is. Just like to have a little fun sometimes. Really though, we are going to have to change our self-views if we want to see change in our own world. You gotta be brave. You gotta be real. You just gotta be you. You know? Random you. The real you. Talk about a fucking drawn cat and some lasagna and some dueling cardinal ancestors and fucking one thing and see what happens. Yeah? I am who I am. See? Even when you're not even sure who the you is, just fucking be. Just be. I don't know, I was gonna talk about fucking cardinals. Remember, it's not what you want that you're gonna bring to you. It took me a while to freaking grasp this too. It's not what you want you're gonna bring to you. It's what you really deep down believe to be true that you're gonna bring to you. You can't front with the universe. There's no Fortnite skin that's good enough. It's not that good. You're not that good. Fuck, I'm not that good. Trust me. I've tried and failed many times. Many times. I don't know. So if you let go of that self earlier in the episode, like I asked you to, I guess now's the time you can decide, how do you want to form your next layer? Are you ready to go back to your old sense of what you were told you are? Or are you ready to just fucking be your own self? I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta dig into your own gooey layers and wonder at them all. Like, why did I stop drawing Garfield? After my 7-year-old self was who she was, what made me stop? It's how you get to discover or rediscover parts of you. I guess at the end of it, the randomness brings you back into a sense of clarity. You just have to be willing to peel through our own layers. And it really starts as simple as just letting it go. ASMR not. Life really can open up when we just honor ourselves as living, breathing beings. We're all worthy of life, right? And that realization is why we have all these random layers in the first place. But anyway, that's all for now, you guys. I'll talk to you all later. Bye!